Tales from the Darkside series finale aired on July 24th, 1988. The final episode, Basher Malone, was a standard episode, and then that was it. No grand farewell, just another standalone episode. But this was not the end of the series, because on May 4th, 1990, Tales from the Darkside, the movie, was released in theaters. Directed by John Harrison, who also directed multiple episodes of the series, the film follows in Creepshow's footsteps in presenting individual stories held together by a wraparound story. Also a fun fact for you, director John Harrison would go on to direct a few episodes of the Creepshow revival series in 2019. Filming took place between August 1989 to October 1989, and while carrying the Tales from the Darkside name, this film is largely considered to be the successor to the Creepshow duology. I covered the Creepshow Tales from the Darkside rights and names and whatnot in the first video, but TLDR, if you don't want to watch that, Tales from the Darkside the TV series was a Creepshow TV series in all but name, and it seems to be the same case for the films. Furthermore, it also shares many of the same crew as the Creepshow installments, such as George A. Romero, Stephen King, and Richard Rubenstein. Even further connecting the two franchises, one of the stories in the film, The Cat from Hell, was originally intended for Creepshow 2. The three tales in this are Lot 249, which was originally written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, yes, that one, and adapted for the screen by Michael McDowell. The Cat from Hell, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King short story, was written for the film by George A. Romero. And then this final one is fun. Lover's Vow is based on, and I'm going to do my absolute best here, the second segment from Masaki Kobayashi's horror epic, Kwaidan. The film's script adaptation for this segment was also written by Michael McDowell. I'm going to hop straight in and do a short summary, but as always, just go watch the movie. You should see options on how to view it on the screen right now, and it's around 90 minutes long, the perfect runtime for a movie. We open with a woman named Betty, played by Scream Queen, lead singer of Blondie, and Tales from the Darkside series alum, Debbie Harry. She's shopping for some flowers in town, and then hops into her Jeep Cherokee, which is one of the best vehicles ever made, and definitely does not break down every single week. As she gets home, she checks her pantry, where we see a young boy named Timmy locked in a cage. She tells Timmy that she's having guests over that evening, and that he is the main course. She has to get him in the oven soon, so he pulls out a book and starts telling her stories to stall his eventual cooking. As far as wraparound segments go, this is a fun one. A lot of wraparound segments are forgettable, so it's nice to have one that was interesting and very tongue-in-cheek. We'll check back in on Timmy periodically throughout the film. Our first story takes place on a college campus where every character's outfit is early 90s in the best way. This is where the stars start rolling in, with Christian Slater playing Andy, Julianne Moore playing his sister Susan, which is actually her film debut, and Steve Buscemi playing Edward Bellingham. Edward has been cheated by Susan and her boyfriend Lee, who framed him for theft to ruin his chances of winning a scholarship they're competing for. As revenge, Bellingham reanimates a mummy he recently purchased and uses it to murder them in what is a brutal death for Julianne Moore. That reminds me of that one scene in Midsommar that I 1000% can't show here. Andy kidnaps Bellingham and forces him to revive the mummy again and starts going to town on it with a turkey cutter. I don't remember the exact name of that tool, but it cuts turkeys. Andy burns the scroll that Edward was using to control the mummy, and Edward leaves the school. On his way out, he tells the taxi driver that the scroll Andy burned was not the actual mummy text, and laughs as he is attacked by the mummified corpses of his sister and her boyfriend. Back in the wraparound, Betty tells Timmy that before she cooks him, she has to gut him like a fish. Timmy quickly flips to another page of the book to continue stalling. We start this story with hitman Halston. His taxi pulls up to a massive mansion where he meets Drogon, played by William Hickey, who you probably know as Uncle Lewis from Christmas Vacation or Dr. Finkelstein in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Drogon runs a drug prescription company that mainly tested their products on cats, killing 5,000 of them. Drogon lives in this mansion that is also home to a black cat, which Drogon believes is murderously evil. Drogon explains that there were 3 other occupants of his house before the cat arrived. His sister Amanda, her friend Carolyn, and the family's butler, Richard Gage. Wait, is that fucking Hector? Huh, nice. Drogon claims that one by one the cat killed the other 3 and that he is next. The hitman accepts the job and spends the night being tormented by the cat until eventually the cat gets the upper hand. The cat fucking crawls inside of Halston, killing him, then pops out when Drogon comes home in the morning, giving him a heart attack. Back in the kitchen, Betty isn't satisfied with that story. She wants to hear a love story. Timmy quickly pulls one out as the clock is ticking. Preston, a struggling artist, lives in a studio with a large skylight through which a large stone gargoyle on the neighboring building peers down. Preston's agent calls and asks to meet with him at a bar he frequents. His agent tells Preston that his artwork is unpopular and not selling. Dejected, Preston drinks heavily, and at the end of the night, the bar owner, who is a friend of his, offers to walk him home. Along the way, Preston stops to pee in a back alley. When his friend sees and shoots at a gargoyle monster, the creature attacks, brutally rips off his hand, and then rips off his head. Terrified, Preston tries to run away, but the creature corners him and speaks, agreeing to spare his life if he swears never to reveal what he has seen. The monster scratches Preston's chest, saying, "Cross your heart," then vanishes. Classic gargoyle humor. Preston runs into another alley where he bumps into a woman named Carola. She claims she's gotten lost while going to meet with her friends and she's looking for a taxi. Preston convinces her to call a taxi from his apartment. A brief aside, never do this. If a sketchy dude is yelling at you to go back to his place, don't fucking go. I don't know who needs to hear that. I don't know if anyone needs to hear that. But if they do, here you go. Carola cleans the gargoyle-inflicted wound on Preston's chest, and they have sex. Classic love story. Preston's life soon improves, and his struggling art career becomes wildly successful, mostly thanks to Carola's many connections. They eventually get married and have 2 children. Preston is still tormented by memories of the gargoyle, though, and his vow of silence weighs heavily on him. On the 10th anniversary of his meeting with Carola, Preston breaks down and tells her about the monster. Carola appears uncomfortable by this revelation and then shrieks,
"You broke your promise, you idiot! I love you!"
revealing herself as the creature that killed his friend. With Preston's vow broken, Carola can no longer remain human and begins transforming back into a gargoyle. Their children are screaming in the bedroom as they also transform into gargoyles. Carola, now fully transformed, wraps her wings around Preston and the couple proclaim their love for each other, but with that vow broken, Carola is still reluctantly forced to kill him by ripping his throat out, before flying away with her gargoyle children. The final scene shows the 3 gargoyles now turned to stone and sitting upon the building ledge, staring down at the city with sorrowful expressions. Betty remarks that Timmy saved the best story for last, but he says that the next one is the best, and has a happy ending. She replies that none of the stories in the book have happy endings, and it is too late as she has to start cooking him. As Betty moves towards Timmy, he narrates his own actions, throwing some marbles on the floor, causing her to slip and fall on her butcher's block, and impaling her on her own tools. Timmy releases himself and pushes her into the oven. Timmy helps himself to a cookie and breaks the 4th wall by saying,
"Don't you just love happy endings?"
The film received mixed reviews from critics. I'm going to read some quotes from 1990 here. "Nothing about Tales from the Darkside is likely to give anyone much of a scare, but thanks to casting that is savvier than the horror norm, and to direction by John Harrison that is workmanlike and sometimes even witty, at least it's fun. None of the 3 is at all frightening, and though the final tale makes use of some nifty makeup effects, they're ones we have seen many times before." And a simple yet scathing review from Johanna Steinmetz at the Chicago Tribune, "The film's rhythm is sluggish, with gore strategically placed in case the audience nods off." So needless to say, this film isn't for everyone. It's still worth a watch, and I personally lead more towards the positive reception of this film. It's dumb fun. I love dumb fun. I've seen every Fast and Furious movie in theaters. If there was a conference at the Dumb Fun convention, I'd be a key speaker. As I've said in the previous videos, the original series has only received a DVD box set, and it doesn't look like it's going to be getting any kind of upgrade anytime soon. Now the movie is a different story. As of this very moment, there isn't just one 4K release of this film, there are about to be 2. The 4K collector's edition that I'm showing here, and now a new slick steelbook that looks absolutely sick, and I will be getting it on day 1. A sequel was planned, but unfortunately, never went past pre-production. I caught this on TV as a kid. I'm not sure if I saw this first or the show, but I do know that I was way too young to be watching it, and it made me scared of cats for like a year. I'm glad to say that I mostly got over that fear. Mostly. The whole movie scared the shit out of me, but watching it now, the scares in this are so goofy, and I think they're mostly meant to be. My young brain just didn't comprehend that a woman turning into a gargoyle could be anything other than terrifying. Watching it now, it's kinda silly. Whatever. I love this movie. I think it's a great horror anthology film and a great unofficial third entry in the Creepshow trilogy. There is no official Creepshow 3. Creepshow 3 doesn't exist. This is Creepshow 3. I feel like people don't know that this is a feature film follow-up to a TV series of the same name. Maybe that's just me. After these 3 videos, I feel like I'm gatekeeping the show. I'm not. I just want everyone to watch it. I think this film is great. Is it perfect? Nah. Is it fun? Hell yeah. Thanks for watching this video. I had a lot of fun revisiting this series for this retrospective. If you have any recommendations for future videos, feel free to comment below. Give us some of that sweet YouTube engagement so we can make videos full time. That'd be sick. We have some projects coming down the pipeline, but we're always looking for new things to watch and new things to write about. Thanks everyone, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
The challenge with the cat from hell was the damn cat. You can't train cats.